how you doing? Justin here. Well, that's the lick that we're going to check out today. I call it the Chromatic 6th's lick. So let's get to a close-up and check out how to play it. Okay, what we're using here is this interval. It's called a sixth. It's a collection of minor sixths and major sixths that come from the A Mixolydian mode. Sounds very complicated, but it's quite a simple little riff. Now, if I just play the, if you like, the notes that belong to the scale in sixths. Probably find this easier to have a look at the tab on the website, but we've got both on the 9th fret. Notice the fingers I'm using too. I'm using these particular fingers, and I'll show you some other variations on that in a little bit. But start off with using your 3rd and 4th fingers on the 9th fret, on the 3rd string and the thinner string. Move that down a tone, and we've got, that's now at the 7th fret, same fingers, still split. Now we've got the 1st finger on the 5th fret, thinner string, and the 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. We move that one down a tone, which is at the 4th and the 6th fret. Now we've got the same 3rd and 4th fingers down both in the 7th fret, this time on the 4th string and the 2nd string. Move that down a tone. Now there's a couple of different ways of doing this. I normally finger this one with the 1st and 2nd fingers. 2nd finger, 4th fret, 4th string. 1st finger in the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And now we've got these, the 2nd fret on the 2nd string and the 4th string. Sometimes I add the bass note in there as well to kind of give it some resolution. So we got now. Now the first thing I want you to realize is that you can use those a whole lot. You know, you don't have to, I'm doing them this, but you can. You really got to, you know, explore yourselves a little bit this idea, because sixths sound cool. They're really. Lots of things you can do with sixths. And the thing that I think is really cool that you can add in with the sixths is to use a bit of chromaticism, which means kind of moving by semitones, when you've got the shape that's the same a tone apart. So here, you had these two on the 9th fret and on the 7th fret. So we stick the 8th fret in between. Then onto the next shape and move that one chromatically because it goes to the same shape. Then you can move that the same. Then this is different. Now this is that variation on the fingering I mentioned. 3rd and 4th fingers. Sometimes I slide my 3rd finger backwards a fret, use my 2nd finger, because then my 1st finger is free. Sometimes I do, and then 1st finger has to jump. You know, the fingering that you use for 6 really just depends on what it is that you're doing. You know, quite often I'll use 2nd finger and 3rd finger, especially if I'm doing like, or something like that where I need a 3rd finger with a bit more strength in it. But that's the lick. Have a little bit of an experiment. Oh, by the way, it fits over an A7 chord. Should mention that really. It's quite specifically over an A7. You'd use it in an A blues, you know, if you were. Lots of different ways of using this stuff. The thing I'd really like you to get out of this is the concept, being able to use your sixths in a blues context over that A7 chord. It's really up to you to experiment and see what different ways you can use them, because there are kind of an infinite number of licks that you could get out of that. I've just given you a kind of a standard little one to check out, just to get you going if you like. Now, as I mentioned before, that one fits over A7, right? So that's the sound. Now, if the chord changes to a D7 on your blues, when it goes to the 4 chord, you could move all of those licks so they're kind of based around the 10th fret. And then we're back at A. Then it goes to E, doesn't it? To D. And then back to A. So it'd be a really cool thing as well to take that one lick and not just learn it in A, but learn it over every chord. So when you're playing a blues, maybe you're changing. You know, you're playing your E lick, the D lick, A lick, back to the E lick, back to the A. You know, so change as the chords change in the blues. You might change what lick you play. Now there's a thought. Okay, hope you enjoyed that lick. Remember to put it into practice right away. Get yourself a backing track or a jam buddy or a looper pedal or something, and actually practice using it. Incorporate it into your playing. That's how your licks will come out in your playing, and not just sit in that box of stuff that you learn that never comes out when you play. That's no good. See you for another lick next week. Bye-bye. The important thing here is that you understand the concept, the idea here of using the 6ths intervals, that you can figure out that